You will never ignore cancer again. After watching this isn't just another dry medical documentary. This is a descent into biological hell, where the thing that kills you isn't a monster from the outside. It's the very cells inside your body. They were once a part of you until they betrayed you, and by the time you realize it, you might only have a few months left to live. The silent beginning of a slow death. It doesn't come screaming. It whispers in the dark, and by the time you hear it, it's already too late. Your body is a universe of over 37 trillion cells working in perfect harmony. Every second, millions die and are replaced without you noticing. A biological symphony playing quietly beneath your skin. But one day, a single note goes wrong. A single cell decides not to die. It refuses to obey the rules. It multiplies, then multiplies again and again. One tiny mistake, one massive disaster. It starts with a tiny mutation, a typo in your DNA. Maybe it's from cigarette smoke, maybe from the sun, maybe from something in your food, or maybe it just happens. That one mistake awakens something inside, a self-replicating, mindless machine, a traitor from within. That cell no longer belongs to you. It becomes a parasite, feeding off your body, ignoring all limits. It grows, multiplies, and invades. Millimeter by millimeter, it spreads like a creeping shadow, devouring healthy tissue, ignoring boundaries, drilling deeper. You feel nothing. No pain, no fever, no warning. That's why cancer is called the silent killer. It can grow in your lungs for 7 years before you even cough up blood. It can curl up inside your liver like a snake, waiting to strike. It can hide inside your pancreas, the invisible organ, and only make itself known when you're already rotting from within. In the next chapter, you'll see what happens when cancer wakes up hungry and starts consuming you from the inside out. When the monster wakes, invasion and destruction. It doesn't run, it doesn't roar, it doesn't slash, but it knows how to kill, slowly, silently, cell by cell, breath by breath. You thought cells were harmless, tiny, obedient building blocks of life? Not anymore. A cancer cell doesn't just grow, it declares war. From tumor to bottomless hunger. A tumor isn't just a lump. It's a feeding nest of traitor cells, alive, mutating, and manipulative. It sends out chemical signals, hijacks blood vessels, and commands nutrients to flow toward it. It doesn't ask. It takes. It eats glucose, oxygen, and protein, more than your brain or your heart. While you wonder why you're tired all the time, it's feeding, and it's still growing. Invasion has begun. Cancer cells don't stop at one organ. They know how to break walls, slip through tissues, and ride the bloodstream like stowaways. They tear through membranes. They punch into blood vessels. They hitch rides to your liver, lungs, bones, even your brain. This is metastasis. And that's when you start to feel that something isn't right. A dull ache in your back. A bruise that won't fade. A cough that lingers. A cold sweat in the middle of the night. You go to the doctor. They run tests, blood work, scans, biopsy. And then, you hear the 3 words no one is ever ready for. You have cancer. But that's not the worst part. The scariest thing isn't hearing you have cancer. The scariest thing is how long it's been there, growing, while you smiled, worked, slept. Because tumors don't hurt. They don't burn. They don't bleed. Not until it's too late. By the time you feel something, it's already pressing on your lungs, cracking your bones, squeezing your nerves. At that point, it's not just a cell gone rogue. It's your time being stolen. Your body turns against you. You think your immune system will save you? Think again. Cancer disguises itself. It wears chemical masks. It sends "don't attack" signals. It tells your immune cells, "I'm one of you." And the immune system backs off, while the traitor builds a fortress right in the center of your body. Next, we enter the battlefield of treatment, where poison is the only weapon. and every drop burns away pieces of you. Chemotherapy. When death comes on a schedule. You think you're fighting to live, but really, you're learning how to survive while death is being slowly pumped into your veins. You've heard of chemotherapy. You know it's supposed to kill cancer. But no one tells you what it does to everything else. Because chemo doesn't care who it kills, just that something dies. A battlefield in your veins. On day one, you sit in the treatment chair. The room smells like alcohol wipes and fear. You stare at the bright yellow fluid being hung beside you, nurses in full-body protection suits carefully checking every drop. Why? Because the drug is so toxic. They can't let it touch their skin. But you're about to take all of it into your bloodstream. It doesn't choose sides. Chemo isn't a sniper. It's a bomb. It attacks every cell that dares to divide, not just the cancer, but your hair, your gut, your bone marrow, your skin. You lose your hair in clumps, your appetite, your strength, your sense of time. You throw up yellow bile until nothing's left. Your mouth fills with sores that make even water feel like knives. Your skin burns. Your bones ache like you've been broken from the inside. The death schedule. You thought this would be once? Number. There's a schedule. Every 3 weeks, day 1, poison. Day 3, nausea, vomiting, body collapse. Day 7, blood drops, immune system crashes. Day 14, maybe you feel almost human again. Day 21, start over, 6 cycles, 8, 12. Each one chips away more of you. Each one you wonder, will I walk out of here this time? You stop recognizing yourself. The mirror shows a stranger. No hair, no eyebrows, skin blotchy, eyes sunken, mouth dry, gums bleeding, fingernails blackened. You don't laugh like before. You don't sleep deeply anymore. You're scared that if you fall asleep, you won't wake up. It doesn't kill just you. Your family watches, helpless. Your mother hears you cry in the bathroom and can't hug you. Your partner waits in the hall, listening to you scream into a pillow. Your child asks, why doesn't mommy smell like mommy anymore? Cancer doesn't kill just one body. It kills families, piece by piece, soul by soul. Next comes the final stage, where no more treatment means no more chances, and all you have left is deciding how to die with the least pain possible. The final stage. Death in a hospital gown. When hope is gone, death doesn't feel like a monster anymore. It feels like your quiet roommate sitting beside the bed, whispering every night. One day, the doctor stops using the word treatment. Instead, they say things like palliative care, comfort focus. We'll keep you comfortable. You don't ask if you'll survive anymore, because you already know. You won't. And worse, your body knows it too. One organ at a time. Your lungs begin to drown in fluid. You breathe like you're inhaling through a coffee straw buried in mud. Your liver fails. Your eyes turn yellow. Your skin itches. Your body becomes toxic from the inside out. Your kidneys shut down. You smell metal in your own breath. Your brain swells. You forget names. You see things that aren't there. Eventually, you forget who you are. This isn't a sudden death. It's a slow, calculated disintegration while you're still awake for it. Pain without a face. The pain has no edges, no shape, no source you can point to. They start you on painkillers, then stronger ones, then morphine, then drips, then a pump with a button. But the pain, it still leaks through the cracks, and you start to wish that death would just hurry up. Your final room. You lie in bed, barely moving, a maze of tubes and beeping machines around you, lights never off, footsteps never stop, whispers behind the curtain. You hear everything, you feel most things, but you can't respond, and your eyes are so tired, the last moment. There's no dramatic music, no magical light, just one last shaky breath, a flatline beep, and a straight line on the monitor. Your body remains. But the war is over, not because you won, but because you ran out of cells left to lose. In the final chapter, we'll talk about what comes after the death, because cancer doesn't disappear when your heart stops. It stays behind, in your family, your debts, your photos, and their dreams. The aftermath. When death still leaves its claws behind. Cancer may take one life, but it doesn't leave. It stays, in the bills, in the dreams, in the empty chair at dinner. You think the story ends when the heart stops. But the death, it lingers. It stays in the house, in the air, in the sounds that used to be laughter. Cancer doesn't kill just once. It kills over and over, in the memories, in the debts, in the silence. A family grieves in quiet collapse. After the funeral, the house is quieter. The framed photo sits on the altar. The smell of their clothes is fading, but the pain, it's not loud. It's slow and suffocating. A mother cries into a pillow every night, trying not to wake anyone. A partner stares at a stack of unpaid bills, unsure whether to cry or scream. A child still sets out 2 toothbrushes, one for them, one for the parent who's gone. Cancer didn't just take one person, it left a hole that keeps bleeding. The price of dying treatment was expensive, hope was expensive, chemotherapy, emergency admissions, last chance medication, special nutrition, one more scan, one more test, and now loans, empty accounts, a house no longer in your name. Death should be free, but dying from cancer, it's one of the most expensive things you'll ever do. Memories that refuse to die. There are images the living can't forget. Your body seizing in the night, your voice begging for the pain to stop, your final breath, that sound plays over and over in their heads. This is grief with no therapist, no language, only silent, permanent trauma. The world doesn't stop outside, people laugh, eat, scroll, shop. They don't know that today, 300 people died of cancer in your country alone. They don't know that 12 people just died this past hour, while they were choosing what to watch on YouTube. Cancer doesn't care if you're rich, or kind, or young. It just needs one small mutation, and you're next. So, what will you do with the time you still have? If you're reading this, you're still alive, still breathing, still able to choose. Now you know what cancer really is. Now you know how quietly it kills, and how loudly it stays behind. So take care of your body, get screened, eat better, quit smoking, call your doctor, hold your loved ones tight, because sometimes the scariest monsters are already inside you.